Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. How are you? I'm Natasha Ching, and welcome to PR1 channel. And today we are going to present Ms. Charmaine Chan, the Executive Director, and Mr. Miguel Polop of DB Dynamics. So welcome to you both.
Thank you, Natasha.
Good morning.
Pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So first of all, what attributes to the agreement of supplying the Bimbo electric last mile delivery vehicles, and how significant is the agreement to EV Dynamics?
So, for our company, having signed a deal with the largest bakery company in the world for the last mile delivery activities is a major achievement. We've been working together for more than 2.5 years, developing a tailor-made solution for the customer that fulfills all the necessities that they have: the range, the power, the speed, the weight, the load that they require, the measurements. So we develop a vehicle, we homologate it. It's a tailor-made solution, and for us, it's a major achievement because Bimbo are huge. It's a huge company. They have more than 55,000 vans under operation, and we are the key e-mobility partner. So the e-revolution on replacing the old combustion vans to electric, they're doing it with us. So just being chosen as a partner for Bimbo Group is being for us a major change in the company.
Thank you. And with this agreement, which model will be delivered?
So it's a cabin chassis. Basically, what maybe you can explain, Charmaine. You know.
Sure. Let me explain a little bit the product that we designed for Bimbo. It is a 6-meter cabin chassis. It is for their last mile delivery solution for them. They're going to use it in the Mexico City, around the metropolitan area, to distribute their bread and bakery. And currently, they are expecting to change their existing delivery van of like 1,000 units with us. Like within 5 years, they have a target to change it. And this 6-meter chassis gives them great flexibility because they can combine the existing using delivery body to fit on our chassis, which fits the purpose sufficiently.
Yeah, because they actually build their own cargo boxes.
Yeah.
So Bimbo, they deliver bread, donuts, they deliver snacks. So they have their own very special cargo box, which they have to fit into the cabin chassis. So it was like a perfect marriage. So we put together something that fits perfectly with their cargo box, and they can now focus on delivering the bread to the shops with zero pollution, saving a lot of money on gas as well.
That's a lot of benefits. And what's the special features, and what is the technological advancement has been achieved?
So I would say that technologically, what we've developed is a low-cost solution, very solid, and the chassis is very robust because the roads in Mexico are very bumpy. So a lot of the existing operators or OEMs were developing vehicles that are just not solid for Latin American roads. So we developed something which is super solid. When they put the cargo box on top, it's like very robust solution. And of course, it has the best components inside: the battery packs, inverters, and the motor. That's all like top quality from China. China is the leading country in the world producing components. So we just developed a very strong chassis with the best components from China to conquer the world in North America. Mexico is part of the North America Free Trade Agreement. For us, being in North America, Mexico is key because they are far behind from China. People don't realize that China is 10 years ahead of the rest of the world. But of course, there's a lot of business inside China. What Charmaine decided 3 years ago is that we will approach international markets, and that's why we started focusing on big clients, blue chip companies in America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. And China for us is the manufacturing side, is where the supply chain happens.
Okay, thanks, Miguel. And Charmaine, how would the new agreement assist the company to expand further in Latin America?
First, because Bimbo is the largest bakery company in the world, by being their supplier, and they recognize our technology with the top technology from China that we bring to them, and this gives us huge recognition. And also, with the success case with Bimbo, that's proved our ability that we can work with many more companies like Bimbo, that we can totally design the customized solution for them in terms of building their own EV that suits their own needs, which gives us great opportunity around the world. Look at all the emerging markets. For example, our Comets in the Philippines. Yeah. And personally, we can give more information about the Comets in the Philippines.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, also adding to that, Natasha, think about how different it is to transport bread from transporting Coca-Cola. It's totally different weight. It's totally different measure. Everything is different. So the world has changed. The manufacturers, we have to adapt to the customer. But before, it wasn't like that. The manufacturers produce a van, bump it into the market, and the market has to adapt themselves. That's not the way we do it. Now we need to make tailor-made solutions. So this Bimbo deal will make a lot of noise in America. And already we start receiving calls from other big companies asking for something similar. So we do believe that this is going to be a major change for our company. We have a very bright future. Talking about the last mile minibus that we developed for not for the Philippines, we saw that there is a major opportunity on emerging markets, Africa, Latin America, Southeast Asia, on developing a substitute for the minibus that operates in all these emerging markets, which, by the way, is half of the world. In Europe, in China, in North America, people can buy a car because people have the money to buy a car. But the people in the Philippines, the people in Africa, the people in South America do not have money to buy a car. They have to use minibuses, public transportation. So we developed a low-cost minibus solution for those markets to replace the old vehicles. So in the Philippines, Charmaine decided that Philippines is a very close market to us. So this is the first market we wanted to conquer, and we already rolled out around 70 units a couple of years ago to show the world that deploying an electric minibus is not just saving CO2 emissions and being environmentally friendly, it's very cost efficient for the operators. The operator that operates an electric bus saves a lot of money compared to internal combustion. So in the Philippines, only the Philippines has 300,000 minibuses today that are around 30, 40 years old in average. They call them jeepneys. In Thailand, they call them tuk-tuks. In every market has this minibus. And we basically design a vehicle to substitute all those. All the other competitors that we have are focusing on North America, on Europe. We focus on emerging markets. There are more buses in the Philippines, public transportation, than in Europe. In Europe, everybody has a car. 60% of the people in the Philippines use public transportation. That's where we foresee that there is a major opportunity for companies like us. And that's why we focus on developing solutions for markets where really the demand exists.
So it's like more down to earth to the civilians, and it's benefiting everybody in the world.
Yes,
Okay.
and we focus on improving the people's life. So Charmaine is always worried about changing people's lives. And we always discuss about this. We don't want just make a business. No, we want to make life better. And if you Google online Comet in the Philippines, you will realize what we're doing there and how much better the people are riding every day. Comfortable, CCTV for security, air conditioned, handicap ramp access, zero emissions, your digital payment, everything in a low-cost solution made in China with the best technology. So we believe first in creating operations, in create products that can make our customers save money. But also those products must change the way people live. We need to make a better world, and that's the responsibility that we as a company are committed to do.
And Miguel, could you share a bit more about the company's development of B2B new energy vehicle solutions?
Yeah, I mean, we mostly do B2B. We operate, our customers originally are either bus operators or big food or supply companies. So normally we don't go to the final customer. We always do B2B solutions. Like Bimbo is a good case of, they are a company that produces mostly bakery, donuts and bread, and they require an electric van, so we just develop it for them. And B2B is exactly what we do. We don't go to the final customer because we're not a commercial car company. We don't produce motorcycles. We always have to go through B2B. So we have great local partners like we do in the Philippines, like we also have in Africa through Spain, we have in Latin America through Mexico, and B2B is for us the way to go. No? Charmaine, do you agree with that?
Yes, totally agree.
And Charmaine, could you comment on the global market potential in new energy vehicles?
Oh, the potential is huge. Like, it's really huge. Like in every country, they have targets to achieve the zero emission index, right? So, gradually, everywhere in the world, they will change to EV. In terms of the passenger vehicle or the commercial vehicle, and also the reason why we chose to do commercial vehicle is that we believe there's a huge missing part in this industry, and we at EV Dynamic, we are the missing part of this industry, right? Because you can see from like on the road, there's a lot of like passenger car, EV passenger cars like running on the street. But what about the commercial vehicles like the vans and the bus and then like the last mile delivery van? Where are those EV? No, we can't really see them on the road. And the major part of the emissions come from them. So this is why we target this missing part of the industry.
It's like taking care of everybody in the world.
We need to take care of the world.
Thanks a lot, Charmaine and Miguel. And Miguel, to what extent is the company's development in line with the global commitment about the net zero carbon emission?
Well, we see now, as Charmaine was saying before, countries throughout the world are just creating a very strict policies. Like by 2030, there will be no more internal combustion vehicles on the road. So, if you want my honest opinion, Natasha, I think the world
is your valuable comments.
Well, but in my opinion, maybe this could happen in China or in Asia, but in Europe is not ready for that because there is no supply chain. I mean, can you name a big gigafactory producing battery packs in Europe? Impossible. You want to do the exercise today, go in London, go to Paris, go to Madrid, try to buy 10 vans, 10 electric vans. It's impossible. You cannot buy 10 vans today. You cannot buy 10 electric buses today in London, only in China. Okay, the politicians can say by 2030 the world will be electric, but unless all the vehicles come from China, it's impossible. So, and that's why Charmaine and the board, we decided that we were going to be the first ones trying to conquer the markets internationally rather than focusing on the local business, which would be the comfortable thing for us. We have a factory in China, fully licensed, we produce vehicles, why don't we just work in China? But we said no, we're going to start from scratch and we're going to focus all the energy internationally. So we think that the opportunity, of course, not we think, it's fairly obvious, but there's something very important called homologation. So you want to sell a bus tomorrow in Europe, fantastic. You need to homologate the vehicle. It's going to take you 2 years to develop, engineer, take it there, and get the EVA homologation. So a few years ago, we decided that our factory had to be designed and developed under EU standards so that all our vehicles could be easily homologated for Europe and North America. It takes a long time.
So it's covering the whole world, it's worldwide and global, not only focused in Latin America.
Well, our vehicles are not designed for Latin America. designed for
Worldwide.
the whole worldwide. Every market requires a different homologation. So we, for example, we have a 12-meter bass, fully homologated for Europe, completely homologated for Europe. So each market requires something different. But of course, we cannot do everything. We cannot conquer the whole world. Just becoming a niche player and taking, let's say, 5% of the market would be incredible business for us. And think about Philippines as an example. There are 300,000 minibuses that need to be replaced. And as you said before, the policy, there is something called the Jeepney Modernization Plan. The government said that by 2030, 20% of the vehicles must be electric. That's 60,000 minibuses. 60,000. And we are the only player in town. We are the only ones in town. So just meeting the demand in the Philippines, it's multi-billion-dollar business. It's huge. Just the Philippines is huge. So we are very confident that we've developed really solid products for those markets. We are super confident that the market is there, and we're just the pioneers in some of those places. So we're just waiting for the wave to take us all the way up. Our company is listed in the stock market here in Hong Kong, and we're very confident the stock that will pick up quickly when people see that we have something very solid and a very solid business plan. We're not a PowerPoint company like many companies that you see on the stock market in NASDAQ and that. We are a real company, real operations, real customers, solid future, and we're going to make it happen.
And Charmaine, what would the company's next business strategy in tapping the market growth?
Tapping into the market growth, I think for now, just like Miguel said, we're going to focus on the Bimbo deal and then the Philippines, because we need to do it step by step, I believe. We don't want to like waste our energy or our resources on like too many things in one time. We prefer to do it like if the Bimbo model succeeds, we move on to the next one, and then when the Philippine Comet model succeeds, we move on to another market. Like we can go to the Southeast Asia, and we can go to Mexico and Africa. I can see a lot of places in the world that needs like vehicles like our Comet model. So I believe there are huge and there are great opportunities out there in the world.
Yeah, it's expanding anyway, right?
Yeah.
We have vehicles today in India. We have also minibuses in Mexico.
Yes.
We have vans and buses in Europe as well. So we are step by step, but moving very fast.
Yeah.
We're a very ambitious company. We're a young team. And Charmaine is her father was the founder of the company. She has an unstoppable energy and motivation to make this company big, and we're going to do it together.
Yeah. Miguel, you have been appointed as the CEO of the EV Dynamics in October 2020. And could you use your experience with Formula E to the current position?
Well, I wouldn't say that the experience in Formula E has much to do with the vehicles that we do here. The Formula E is a very sexy business. It's motorsports. I like motorsports. But this is real business. It's not a circus. Formula E it was an amazing experience for me being part of the company. I was one of the founders. I was in the board from the very beginning. What we did is we developed an amazing network of people. We met on a Formula E race in Beijing 8 years ago. So Formula E has allowed us to connect throughout the world with people in China, in America, in Europe. So Formula E is a great network, but in terms of technology, it's a little bit different. We do apply some of the technology because we have a software department in which we develop internally what's called the Vehicle Control Unit, the VCU, which is the computer, the brain of the whole vehicle. There's a lot of technology inside that software that is actually similar to the one of a Formula E. But I would say that just network. No, Charmaine, what do you think? It's just network is what we learn from Formula E.
It's covering worldwide. And Miguel, what is your mission of joining this company?
Well, the mission in this company is there are very few companies like EV Dynamics. This company has an internal R&D center. This company has a factory on the balance sheet. So it's not a lot of companies in America and in Europe, which we had opportunities to look at. They're just fantastic offices, fantastic PowerPoint, but there is no production capacity. EV Dynamics has a very big factory in Chongqing, which is fully licensed and have the ability to produce from top to bottom vehicles. So for me, I always, when I got in connection with Charmaine to discuss about the project, my biggest motivator is that we had a factory that we could produce the vehicles without depending too much on third parties. So I foresee this company as the leading company, one of the leading companies when it comes to minibuses and last mile delivery products. So my motivation is to create a multi-billion-dollar company, and we're going to do it. It's going to take a bit of time, but we're going to do it.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Charmaine and Miguel, for joining us for the interview. And have a nice weekend, and thanks for watching the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.